Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to unlock one of the most powerful tools in English grammar, conditionals. Seriously, get these right and you'll immediately sound way more natural and, professional. So let's just dive right in. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a little ambitious, right? Well, that's exactly our plan. We're going to break this whole thing down piece by piece so you can walk away using these with total confidence. So here's the game plan. We'll start with the foundation, the essentials. Then we'll level up to a really cool combo move, push into the advanced C1 Pro tier, and then wrap it all up with a final challenge to see how far you've come. You ready? Let's do this. All right, first up, we're tackling level 1, the core 4. You really got to think of these as your foundation, the absolute essentials. Mastering these is, well, it's non-negotiable if you want to communicate clearly.
Okay, so we're starting with the conditionals that are all about reality. The zero conditional is for things that are always true. Think scientific facts or just general habits. Like if you heat water, it boils. That's just a fact. It always happens. The first conditional, on the other hand, is for stuff that's super likely to happen in the future. If it rains tomorrow, I'll take an umbrella. It's a real possibility, but not a 100% guarantee.
Okay, this is a fantastic example of that first conditional. You've got a real situation, the bad driving, and a result that's, well, pretty likely to happen, right? An accident. It's a straight-up cause and effect warning about the future. Okay, now let's jump into the world of the unreal. The second conditional is all about imagining a different now, a hypothetical present. The third is for looking back at the past and imagining a different result, often with that little feeling of regret, that what-if feeling.
The classic third conditional. You'll hear this one a lot. So what actually happened? I didn't know you were coming, so I didn't meet you. Simple as that. This sentence lets us talk about that alternate reality, the past that didn't happen, and imagine what could have been.
Okay, pop quiz time. Let's see if you've been paying attention. If I'd be rich, I would travel the world. Which one fits? Is it am, was, were, or had been? Take a second. Think about it. What's the right fit for an imaginary present? And the answer is C, were. If you got that, awesome job. Now, you'll definitely hear people say was all the time in casual conversation, but if you want to be correct, especially in writing or more formal situations, were is the way to go. It just sounds so much cleaner. Fantastic work on that one. Now, welcome to level 2, the mixed conditional. This is where things get really interesting because we're going to start mixing and matching those building blocks to talk about some pretty complex stuff. I'm not kidding. This is a real grammar power move. It's how you connect something that didn't happen in the past with a result that's happening right now. It's a game changer for expressing nuanced ideas. So let's break this down. Take a look at the two columns. On the left, a normal third conditional. Past action, past result. If you hadn't reminded me, I would have forgotten. All in the past. But look at the right, the mixed conditional. Past action, present result. If Jim hadn't missed the plane, he would be here now. You see that? It's all about when the result is felt. All right, you know what's next. Your turn. Let's try a mixed conditional. If she hadn't drunk so much, she blank a headache now. What's the missing piece here? A, B, C, or D? And the answer is B, wouldn't have. You got it. Why? Because hadn't drunk is in the past, but the headache, that's happening now. So it links the past to the present. Perfect. Seriously, you're crushing this. So it's time. Time to level up to the C1 Pro tier. This is the stuff that takes you from sounding pretty good to sounding incredibly fluent, just like a native speaker. Mastering these little tweaks, that's what really separates the good English speakers from the great ones. It's all about adding these subtle layers of meaning, formality, unlikelihood, or just pure chance to what you're saying. So instead of just saying if all the time, you can drop in one of these words to add some extra flavor. Using should kind of hints you don't really expect it to happen. Were to makes it sound even more hypothetical and a bit formal. And happen to is all about emphasizing chance. This is such a great example. By using were to, the question feels way more formal and much more hypothetical than just saying, if I ask you. It just adds this little layer of distance, which makes it a super polite and, honestly, a pretty sophisticated way to ask something so important. And get this, you don't even have to use if all the time. There are some really powerful alternatives. Unless is just a clean, simple way to say if not. Provided that is like saying if and only if, and but for. Well, that's a super elegant and formal substitute for a past hypothetical.
Now look at this, but for is such an elegant one. It's just a really slick, concise way of saying if it hadn't been for your help. It's short, it's punchy, and it just sounds really impressive. A great one to have in your back pocket.
All right, we've gone through the basics, the combos, and the pro-level moves. So there's only one thing left to do. It's time for the final grammar challenge to see what you've learned. Okay, here we go. The final quiz. If you blank to be passing, drop in for a cup of tea. Think about it. Which one gives you that polite, friendly vibe and really emphasizes that this would be a chance meeting? And the winner is B, should happen. That whole phrase, if you should happen to be passing, is just chef's kiss, perfect C1 level English. It's super polite and it shows you know that the meeting would be just by chance. Definitely one to add to your personal phrasebook. And that brings us to our final thought. Just take a second and think about that. Before this, what little mistake might you still have been making? Maybe it was that whole was versus were thing, or maybe you'd never even heard of a mixed conditional. Whatever it was, you've seriously leveled up your grammar skills today. Fantastic job.